The Free Burma Rangers have operated in war zones across the globe, from Burma to Iraq to Syria, bringing humanitarian aid to the front lines of active conflict. This month, they returned to Syria's northeast. The mission, to support communities caught between Turkish airstrikes, Islamist militias, and a newly formed Syrian regime that many here believe is no different from the one they overthrew. My journey began in the west, deep inside Syria. I spent hours on the road trying to catch up with the FBR team. Fuel was scarce, checkpoints were frequent, and everywhere people were bracing for a new wave of violence. The goal was to reach Kobani, a city of symbolic resistance, where the team was already distributing aid and meeting with local leaders.
So as a humanitarian organization, we want to be led by God. And we were invited into Burma 32 years ago, my wife and I, and our kids grew up there. When ISIS started attacking in Syria and Iraq, we were invited there by Victor Marx and others, so we came. Once we were in Iraq, we were invited into Syria by a new Christian named Bashir. Come and help us. We've gone nowhere we haven't been invited, and people have opened the doors for us. And coming here, we bring our ethnic team members. We brought 8 of them from Burma, from the Karen, from the Karenni, from the Kachin. And one of them gave his life, and you know him, Zhao Sang. He died right, not far behind you right now in Tel Tamer, as we were trying to help the Kurds during the Free Syrian Army, Syrian National Army Turkish invasion of 2019. He was killed on November the 3rd. And the same day, his daughter, had her first year birthday. And I remember he's killed right next to me. It always makes me want to cry. And we don't build that many things because we're a relief organization and a frontline one. But in honor of him and in helping the people here by their request, we built the Zhao Sang Hospital, which is now focused on maternity, bringing new life into this world, helping mothers. And we were just there. There's a big picture of Zhao, which I am so glad his wife and his daughter can see. And so we have our blood here. And that blood here makes us very sad. It's also drawn us closer to the people here. So we do stand with these people, mostly out of love and because God sent us.
I've been shot 6 times, and I've been wounded in 2019. And then with Zhao.
With shrapnel.
Yeah, with the drone shrapnel, but thank God I'm alive again. And then Zhao, he was next to me and he died instantly.
Yeah. So
thank God saved me again.
You're probably the most blessed soldier in the Iraqi army.
Thank God. He saved me.
The Kurds really don't have anything that we want as Americans. So if you look at the geopolitical side, the Kurds are a non-entity. They're basically, historically, have been a tool. In Kurdistan, in northern Iraq, they were a tool against Saddam Hussein. You move into Iraq now and northeast Syria, the Kurds were a tool to defeat ISIS. And so I think with the Americans, politically what they're thinking is, we no longer need that tool. ISIS has been defeated, Saddam Hussein's been defeated. And we have to understand as Christians that people matter.
10 years ago, the Kurds had to fight for Kobani, just a stone's throw from the Turkish border. And all this destruction you see behind me, you see the gun there and the broken down vehicles and everything. That's all from the big battle they had with the Islamic State back about 2015. And they managed to keep control of the city then, but now they've had to fight for the city again, this time from Turkish proxy forces. And so far, in the last few months, almost 500 Kurds have lost their lives in that battle. This isn't a metaphorical war. It's real, and it's happening daily. Above their cities, under the ground, and across wide, empty highways. And the people here have adapted. In urban combat, you don't want to walk down the street because you'll get shot. So what the fighters do is they break holes in the walls like this to go between buildings without exposing themselves on the street. And you can see all the destruction this causes. But look what I just found. There's a tunnel entrance right there that leads to the miles and miles of tunnels And these tunnels have been built all over this area. Take a look down there. It goes way down. These tunnels go for hundreds of miles underneath not just the city of Kobani, but almost every city in Syria. And that just shows you how important it is to them now that war has changed to include drones from overhead. After linking up with the Free Burma Rangers in Kobani, we traveled east to Raqqa, once the capital of ISIS. From Raqqa, we moved south to the Tishin Dam, where the reality of this war was clearer than ever. This is the Tishin Dam behind me, and you might have heard about it in the news recently because it's been the scene of some pretty heavy fighting in this area between the Turkish-backed forces and HTS and the Kurds over on this side. Now, the Kurds hold the dam right now, and there's a ceasefire that just recently came into effect, which they're hoping will hold. The only problem is the Turks aren't abiding by the ceasefire, and there are still drone strikes and artillery shelling happening on a daily basis out here. And so that puts the future of this vital piece of infrastructure in doubt. Hundreds of civilians have taken shelter inside the dam complex itself. Families live in utility rooms and service tunnels, acting as human shields in hopes of deterring Turkish airstrikes. Each morning, these families gather and dance on the dam in full view of Turkish drones. It's not just defiance, it's survival. The Tishin Dam powers homes and pumps water for more than 400,000 people in the region. If it's destroyed, the loss would be catastrophic. The next stop was Alhasaka, a majority Kurdish city near the Iraqi border. There we visited hospitals, distribution centers, and the Christian military group known as the Syriac Military Council. Their commander, Aram Hanna, explained the bigger picture.
The HTS and the regime Assad army and even the FSA and all of these people, they attacked us by air attacks, and the Turks are doing the same. And HTS with Jolani, we didn't change nothing. There's no difference.
In every meeting, the message was consistent. Syria's Kurds will never accept being ruled by a government backed by HTS, an offshoot of al-Qaeda that now calls itself the Government Security Services. After leaving Alhasaka, we made the long drive north to Kamichi. From there, it was a final push to the border near Erbil. Along the way, we interviewed a Kurdish woman who fights with the YPJ, the all-female military wing of the SDF. She told us how she was trained in martial combat as a teenager and why she's still fighting. For many of these women, war isn't just a duty, it's a legacy, one they're not willing to surrender, not to Turkey, not to jihadists, and not to a regime that claims peace while silencing opposition.
These people groups are made of individual people. These individual people need love, they need God. And so we're here to give them that. So we can go to each individual person, love them. Then when you give them love, you give them God. And that's what we want to do. The ones that don't feel loved, we can love. And if they don't know God, we can introduce them to him.
Through it all, the Free Burma Rangers kept going, delivering aid, comforting the grieving, and praying with the wounded. We started this journey in the shadow of war. We ended it surrounded by the resilience of people determined to stay free.
This conflict is crucial for the whole world. Not only is it important to stop ISIS, ISIS is coming back right now. Just a couple of days ago, they killed some people on this side of the river and that side of the river. They're coming back even stronger. So it's important to stop them because their attacks won't just kill our friends here, they'll come to kill Americans and others. So that's reason number one. Reason number two, for any stability in this region, you need some form of democracy. And the Syrian Democratic Forces are trying, they're not there yet, but they're trying for that form. It's a very inclusive government representing many ethnicities and religions. It's a great model, just as the Kurdish regional government is, of how we can all live together. That's very important for our friendships together. It's important because of oil. We have oil on the Iraqi side and the Syrian side. Who's it going to go to? How is it going to be used to best help people? And it's important in the conflict that's going on in Israel on one side and Iran on the other. With friendship here, Iran cannot strengthen its position and take all of Syria. So I think there's many reasons why we want to keep helping people here.
It's unclear how long the ceasefires will last. What's certain is that the Syrian people, especially the Kurds and Christians of the north, will not go quietly.